Welcome to the clustering presentation for Writing 115. This is for week 1, generating ideas. The first thing I do when I want to generate ideas by clustering is come up with a topic. And I'm thinking about my yard because I'm very familiar with it and it's easy. The next thing is I want to brainstorm ideas that I associate with that. I start in the backyard and I think about the different plants I've got and the landscaping and all of that stuff. And I use lines and circles to organize these different facets or ideas. So another area of thought about my yard are the different structures that we've built over the years, like a fountain and a pergola and the patio. Some of these smaller subtopics could create their own lines of thought. For example, I think about my fountain and it reminds me of all the poor fish that have died over the years. And there really have been hundreds of dead goldfish found floating in my pond. So that's sad. But on a happy note, my patio makes me think of all the great barbecues we had last summer with our friends. It was really fun. We had great food and great conversation. So I could write a whole paper about that. By adding one more cluster to my group, I should have enough material to come up with a few potential subjects for an essay. Look how fast that goes. So then I think about my front yard. I made a fun rock garden, and I love that. My neighborhood has become very hip lately, so there's lots of cool bars and restaurants where people with interesting facial hair hang out. So that's another aspect of my yard. It's where my mind went, so that's what you get, right? So there it is. I began with my yard, and after a few minutes of brainstorming, I have 3 different lines of thought. Now, you don't have to have 3, but it's good to always have more than is required for the assignment. Once I get this cluster put into place, I just need to narrow down some topics. And again, I'm going to narrow down the 3 sort of ideas that I have going on here. The first one could be about my neighborhood. My neighborhood is now suddenly the hip place to be. Another idea could be about my patio. In summer, the patio is another room of our house, which is totally true. And I could describe that pretty well. And then number 3, my backyard landscaping is a good habitat for wildlife. Because of all of the new plants that I've put in and the shade garden, there's been lots more animals and birds and things coming in. So I could write an essay supporting any one of these points. And that's exactly what you want to do. That's the end of the presentation, and thank you very much for watching.